Hey, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. Let me start with some notice in Korean first, and then I will give the floor to the Naomi Shalom, who is today's speaker. Let me share my screen first. 안녕하세요. 저 이스라엘 대사관의 정치학술 담당인 오현택이라고 합니다. 일단 저희 온라인 스터디 이스라엘 세미나, 웨비나 오신 것을 너무 감사드리고 환영합니다. 저희 코로나19 상황 속에서 저희 대사관에서도 원래는 유학 박람회 참석을 예정했었지만 저희가 이제 사회적 거리, 아마 9월이었던 것 같은데 사회적 거리 두기가 2.5단계로 상향되면서 그 개최 자체가 취소됐었습니다. 그래서 저희가 어떤 것을 할까 준비하다가 이제 웨비나 형태로 준비해보자라는 의견과 저희 아이디어가 나와서 이렇게 웨비나를 준비하게 됐고요. 몇 가지 간단한 안내와 그리고 스케줄, 프로그램에 대한 소개 이후에 저희 나오미 샬롬 선생님을 모셔서 저희 이스라엘 고등교육 시스템에 대한 소개 그리고 이스라엘 유학에 대한 중요성 알아보도록 하겠습니다. 저는 정치학 담당이고요. 이스라엘 주로 고등교육, 특히 이제 대학교 교류 담당하고 있습니다. 여러분, 오늘은 10월 26일 첫 번째 시간입니다. 그래서 오늘은 이제 이스라엘 고등교육위원회에 나오미 샬롬 선생님을 모시고 진행을 하고 저희가 기본적으로 두 세션으로 준비했습니다. 첫 번째 세션은 이스라엘 대학교의 입학 담당자들과 하는 세션이고요. 그 세션은 지금 보시면은 약간 붉은색으로 표시된 10월 27일, 10월 29일, 화요일, 목요일에 진행되는 세션이고 지금 이스라엘 고등교육 기관 중에 와이즈만을 빼고는 다 지금 참석하셨거든요. 그래서 바를란 대학, 카이파 대학, 테크니온 인스티튜트가 지금 화요일에 웨비나를 진행할 예정이고 그리고 아리엘 대학교, 벤구리온 대학교, 그리고 텔아비브 대학교, 그리고 히브리 대학교가 목요일에 지금 발표 예정입니다. 그리고 파란색으로 색깔 칠해져 있는 곳은 특히 이제 한국어로 진행되는 세션인데 한국인 졸업생 또는 학생들을 좀 모셔서 좀 생생한 이스라엘 유학의 이야기를 좀 들어보는 시간을 갖겠습니다. 그래서 좀 다양한 전공을 좀 모셨어요. 그래서 어떤 분은 뭐 농업부터 시작해서 뭐 언어 과정인 울판 그리고 뭐 비블리컬 스터디스도 계시고 또 어떤 분은 뭐 학부를 공부하시기도 하고 어떤 분은 예술 관련한 석사를 공부하시기도 하시고 또 박사 과정을 다니시는 분도 있고요. 제가 폭넓은 과정을 좀 과정의 학생들을 모셨어요. 그래서 여러분들이 좀 원하시는 학교 또는 원하시는 과정에 어떤 생생한 이야기를 좀 들어볼 수 있는 시간입니다. 그래서 이런 프로그램을 좀 보시고 원하시는 프로그램 어느 때는 참석하실 수 있습니다. 제가 등록하신 분들에게 계속 참가 웨비나 링크를 보내드리거든요. 그래서 그 링크를 참조하셔서 확인하시면 되고 또 주위 친구들에게도 많이 알려주셔서 많은 분들이 들으실 수 있도록 하셨으면 좋겠습니다. 몇 가지 공지가 있습니다. 첫 번째는 녹화 캡처 및 녹음 금지입니다. 아까 한 선생님께서 그 공지사항에 채팅방에 올려주셨는데 이 모든 녹화본은 저희 한국안의 이스라엘 페이스북 페이지와 그리고 곧 리뉴얼될 한국안의 이스라엘 그 네이버 블로그에 업로드될 예정입니다. 그래서 모든 어떤 프레젠테이션 파일들이나 뭐 내용들이 다 저작권에 걸려있기 때문에 함부로 녹화, 캡처, 녹음을 금지하고 있으니까 좀 규정에 따라주기를 부탁드리겠습니다. 그리고 질문 같은 경우에는 발표가 끝난 뒤에 저희가 Q&A 세션이 있습니다. 그래서 오늘은 조금 더 이렇게 플렉서블한 날인데 한 40분, 40분 정도의 발표 이후에 Q&A 세션이 있을 예정이고 그 세션에서 손들기 기능 또는 Q&A 게시판을 이용해서 질문을 해주시면 됩니다. 그래서 혹시나 시간 관계상 답변을 못 받으신 분들은 이게 저희가 저장이 안 돼요. Q&A 게시판에 제가 보니까 질문을 올리셨더라도 이게 저장할 수 있는 기능이 없어서 그 발표자 또는 저에게 이메일로 보내주시면 제가 성실히 답변 드리도록 하겠습니다. 그리고 이스라엘 유학과 관련 없는 질문 또는 의견은 저희가 따로 답변 드리지 않으니까요. 참고 부탁드릴게요. 제 이메일과 연락처고요. 저희 밑에 studyinisrael.seoul@gmail.com 이게 저희가 업무용으로 쓰는 이메일 계정이니까요. 혹시 이스라엘 유학에 관한 문의가 있으시면 언제든 연락 주시면 감사하겠습니다. 그리고 SNS 채널 저희가 3개 운영하고 있는데요. 그 중에 이제 페이스북, 인스타그램에는 조금 더 유학과 관련된 혹은 문화와 관련된 콘텐츠들이 많이 올라올 예정이고, 그리고 곧 리뉴얼될 저희 네이버 블로그도 곧 소개해 드릴 거거든요. 그래서 많이 방문해 주시고 이스라엘 대사관에 관련된 소식 접하셨으면 좋겠습니다. 잠시만요. 제가 공유를 중지하고. 네. Now is the time to introduce our speaker. Actually, Embassy invited the Naomi Shalom of the Council for Higher Education in Israel as the first session in the week-long webinar series. The Council for Higher Education, CHE, is the official authority for the higher education in Israel and determines policy for the higher education system. Actually, in Korea, Ministry of Education is in charge of every level of the education system, but Israel divided into two. Actually, CHE is in charge of the higher education system, and then Ministry of Education in charge of the rest of them. I think this session is an important time to enhance the understanding of higher education system of Israel, and also can find the importance of studying in Israel. I'm now inviting Naomi Shalom into the floor. Naomi Shalom, the floor is yours now.
Okay, thank you everyone. I'm very happy to be here. My name is Naomi Shalom. I'm the International Student Affairs Coordinator at the Council for Higher Education. Unfortunately, I had some technical issues this morning, but I'm overcoming them as I see now. Before I begin, I just want to thank the ministry, the Israeli ministry in Seoul for this opportunity. I am very happy to be here today, and I will begin shortly. I will just share my screen. Just a second. Okay.
Shalom, could you mute your one of the device because there's a howling?
Yeah. Okay. Is it working well now? Yes. Okay, so I will start now. So as I said, my name is Naomi Shalom. I'm the International Student Affairs Coordinator at the Council for Higher Education. And I will just shortly explain what the Council for Higher Education is. So the Council for Higher Education is the government body in charge of higher education in Israel. We plan the development of the higher education system at a national level. We allocate the budget to the higher education institutions. So most Israeli institutions are government funded, and we allocate the budget. We provide accreditation of new degrees and programs and conduct quality assurance of existing programs. And we approve the establishment of new institutions when that is needed. We also lead in national initiatives within the higher education systems, and that leads me to the next slide of welcoming international students. So in 2016, the Council for Higher Education decided to focus on attracting international students to Israel. So together with the higher education institutions in Israel, we are working hard to make sure that international students come to Israel and enjoy everything that Israel has to offer. Since 2016, when we started with this initiative, we have invested in opening more English taught programs, upgrading the facilities, and creating extracurricular programs in order to make the Israeli academia accessible and welcoming for international students. I can also tell you that in this time of the pandemic, we are working nonstop to ensure that international students are able to come to Israel and do feel welcome and do feel that this is a place where they can conduct their studies and research in the best way possible. So so it is important for me to tell you guys that you are welcome. We strongly believe in internationalization in higher education. We believe that ideas flourish in a multicultural environment, and that is, and we believe that you have a lot to contribute to the Israeli academia, and the Israeli academia can contribute a lot to you as well. And this, and you probably ask yourself, why study in Israel? And that is probably the most important question. So today I would like to focus on 5 main reasons. And the first one is pursue your education in a world-class center of academic excellence. We truly believe that our academia is excellent. We have a lot to offer international students. Our research is excellent. Our classes and our institutions are excellent. And I will not just say this, I will also show the Israeli the rankings, Israeli universities and global rankings of 2020. I will focus on the Shanghai ranking. So you can see that the Weizmann Institute of Science is ranked 93. We also have 2 more institutions among the 150 best institutions in Israel, and Tel Aviv University and all the others ranked as well. So we truly believe that our institutions are excellent, and we do have excellent researchers and facilities and institutions that you can come and join. I'll also show this slide of Israeli recent Nobel, Turing, Abel, Shell and Fields Medal laureates. So you can find here laureates from different institutions. We have Ada Yonat from the Weizmann Institution, and Robert Uman from the Hebrew University and the Technion as well. And they also come from different fields of economics and chemistry and mathematics. So I would also like to point out in the next slide that David Kazadan, the Shaw Prize winner of 2020 from the Hebrew University, and Hillel Furstenberg, the Abel Prize winner, also in 2020 from the Hebrew University. So we also have more recent winners of these prizes. And I think that it's not only the people, of course, these are the best of the best in their fields, these researchers, but I think it's also the institutions where they conducted their research. These institutions invest a lot in research, invest a lot in the facilities for their research, and that is something that every student and every researcher is able to enjoy as well and to use as well. So it's also being around the best of the best, but it's also being in these facilities and in these institutions that value excellent learning, value research, and also value these ideas. This leads me to the second point, debate and collaborate with your peers and professors. And I would like to say that this is directly connected to the previous point of excellent researchers and excellent faculty members. We believe that in order to become great at your field, in order to become a good researcher, you must debate and collaborate, not only with your peers, but also with your professors. In Israel, speaking up, challenging existing perceptions is valued and encouraged. Debates and discussions are a central part of your academic experience. In Israel, it's not only that you come and you study and you see someone that is excellent as their professor, someone that is distant from you, but rather this professor is someone that you can debate with. If you do not agree with, you are able to challenge his perceptions, the existing perceptions, and speak up. You will be very much encouraged to do so. And we certainly believe that the people that I mentioned earlier are people that this is something that they all have in common. They challenge existing perceptions. They speak up. They do not. They are not afraid from the people that are above them to say that, and that is something that is very much embedded in Israeli academia. Speaking up and and challenging existing perceptions. I think the one person that said it best is one of our alumni, who said, one of the things that I loved about Israel is the low level of formality and hierarchy, making the flow of ideas very smooth to anybody, whether it's a colleague or a professor. I believe this is one of the reasons for the highly entrepreneurial mindset so prevalent in Israel. So yes, the ideas in Israel flow very easily from professors to students to researchers and the other way around, and that is, I think, that creates an idea where ideas flourish, and we're very proud of that. I will move on to the next point. Learn entrepreneurial skills from innovation experts. So obviously academia is a place where ideas flourish. People think of new ideas, discover new things. But here in Israel, we try to think, how can we not only leave these ideas only within the walls of the academia and within the university or within the college, but how can we actually do something with these ideas? How can we take entrepreneurial skills and innovation skills and actually shape these ideas into something into some innovation, something innovative. So Israel's unique academic environment where critical and creative thinking is encouraged is what makes Israel the startup nation. I hope some of you have already learned this this phrase. Here you will gain entrepreneurial skills from innovation experts. You'll learn how to shape an idea into a plan and make it happen. Some of Israel's startup companies actually started within the academia, and after realizing that, the Council for Higher Education and the institutions thought together, what can they do in order to do more with the ideas that come from the academia. And in most of the universities in Israel, there are what we call innovation centers. These centers take ideas and shape them into a company or into something that is able, that we are able to, that the world is able to enjoy. In these innovation centers, students and researchers gain skills on how they can actually do something with these ideas and shape them into something that that can contribute to the world. So a little bit more about the innovation and entrepreneurship in Israel. Innovation ranking. So the most Israel is ranked the 6th most innovative country by the Bloomberg Innovation Index. I actually went through that.
Shalom, you're mute. Now is you the mute now. Could you unmute your function? Yeah.
An innovation. Excuse me?
You were you're on mute for a while and then.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, so I don't know where I stopped, but I will continue. So Israel is ranked as the 6th most innovative country by the Bloomberg Innovation Index. I realized that Korea is ranked quite high there as well. So I guess we have a lot to learn from each other, and a lot of collaboration can rise from that. It's the 6th most attractive ecosystem for startups and innovation. Actually, Tel Aviv and Jerusalem are ranked both 6th. They tied for 6th as the most attractive ecosystem for startups and innovation by the startup Genome. Two universities are ranked amongst the 100 most innovative in the world by the Reuters ranking of 2019. And down below, you can see four for companies in Israel, I can actually point out that the Mobileye company, which is about autonomic cars, was actually invented by a professor at the Hebrew University, which still teaches there today. And the sniff phone, which is a biotechnology company, was also invented by a professor from the Technion. So the professors and the researchers in the academia are very much involved in the industry as well. And as I said, these ideas actually come and become entrepreneurial initiatives as well. Number 4, rigorous programs of study in Israel, study in English. So we do offer rigorous programs of study in English, and as I said in the beginning, we are working on creating more programs in English together with our institutions. So just in general, Israeli higher education system at a snapshot, we have 60 education institutions, we have 9 universities, 30 colleges, and 21 teachers training colleges. The nine universities are more research intensive. The college are less research focused, but have excellent programs that they offer. And the 21 teacher training colleges are basically to train teachers. And Israel's 60 higher education institutions offer more than hundreds of study abroad, summer and internship programs in English. We have 10 universities that offer full degrees in English at a bachelor's level. We have, at a bachelor's and a master's level, we have more than 20 bachelor's degrees in English and more than 100 master's degrees in English. So if you're at a master's level, you have quite a large variety to choose from. And at a bachelor's level, as I said, there's more than 20 degrees, but more than that, as I said, there are a lot of study abroad, summer and internship programs that if you would like to come here for a short period of time, that is also relevant. Currently, there are 12,000 international students in Israel. And the 5th point I would like to focus on is affordable tuition fees. So the tuition fees in Israel are relatively affordable. Israeli higher education tuitions are competitive. If you're on a graduate degree, on an undergraduate level, it starts from $40,000 per year. If you come for a full degree, at a master's level is $5,500 per year, and PhD is scholarship based. The cost of living in Israel depends on where you choose to study. It's approximately $5,000 per year for campus dormitories and $700 per month if you choose to live somewhere else. Scholarships. So we do have national scholarship programs. As I said, some of these scholarships, since 2016, we are putting a strong emphasis on attracting more international students. So we are thinking of more scholarships in the near future. So we have postdoctoral fellowships that you can find more information on our website. We have the PhD sandwich program. So if you are on a PhD level and you are conducting your research in a country that is not Israel, you can also apply to do 1 year of research in Israel, and that will be on a full scholarship. And there are also some scholarships for summer courses. And also many higher education institutions offer scholarships for international students. And for more information on all that, I do advise you to visit our website, which is studyisrael.org.il. What to study in Israel? That is a very important question as well. So we do offer programs in English in various fields. But if I would to point out a few degrees or a few areas that we think we can offer more than other places in the world. And I will point out science and engineering. So as a startup nation, we do focus a lot on that. And there are different programs that focus on that, innovation and entrepreneurship. As I said, there are a lot of business programs, MBAs that you can join, and some of these also include an internship where you can actually be part of a company and learn more from that. Agriculture and sustainability. Israel is known to be a country with extreme weather. It is a very hot country, so everything that has to do with agriculture, sustainability, if it's desert studies or water technology, that's something that is very developed in Israel. Israel and Middle Eastern studies, so we are based in the Middle East, so this is something that we can definitely offer more insight on. And Jewish studies, the majority of the population in Israel are Jewish citizens, and that is something that is also developed within the academia. Now, where to study in Israel? So there are, as I said, 60 institutions in Israel. Here are a sample of institutions that have quite a lot of programs in English, which is mostly the university and also IDC Herzliya that you can see here. But I think for more information on that, you can also go to our website, Study in Israel, which is studyisrael.org.il. You can find there more information on all the institutions in Israel, what they offer and what they are known for. So that will definitely help you make the best choice for you. And another thing I would like to point out is that there is a very dynamic culture in Israel. Israel is known for its culinary, its beautiful sites, its travel opportunities. And if you do choose to come to Israel, obviously academics come first, but I also advise you to visit and travel and see the country. There are vibrant cities and beautiful beaches, and you're welcome to come and experience all of that as well. If there is a short video. Let me know if that's something that that could work, or are we short on time?
No, you can use your time. Take your time, and then you can play the video.
Okay, great. Yes, just a second. Yes. So thank you very much. That is the end of my presentation.
Oh, Shalom, there's a holding. Yeah.
Yes, so thank you very much. That is basically the end of my presentation. We really hope to see you here in Israel. And if you have any questions, I'm more than happy to answer them now.
Yeah, this is time for the Q&A session. And then anyone who have a question to the Naomi Shalom, you can use the function of the raising hands. This is on your bottom of the Zoom program. There's like a hands icon, and I can recognize and I can allow you to speak out, or you can use the Q&A board, and then you can write down some question in English, and then so that Naomi Shalom can answer you. And please raise your question freely. In the meantime, I have a question. Shalom. Actually, I'm wondering about how Israeli university are reacting against the coronavirus in terms of the this infection issue in the university, and then another thing is that, like, how can they implement their courses? Do they using a Zoom, or do they having a offline class? Yeah, this is what I want to know.
Yeah, so this is a very important question. So at the moment, the classes are conducted via Zoom in most institutions. Some of them do find other solutions, but it is up to the institutions to find their own way and their own path. I advise that you all ask that the different institutions that will be speaking here in the next few days as well. But most of the classes are conducted via Zoom and other digital platforms as well. But I can say that all the higher education institutions are doing their best in order to ensure that international students are able to join their studies in Israel, are able to come. And we have complied a document on exactly all the information international students need to know before coming into Israel and while they're here in Israel. So you can find that on our website. And yeah, that's, I think it's very important in this time for the institutions to be in direct contact with the international students in order to make sure that they know exactly what needs to be done and what rules are. And I think our institutions are doing an excellent job by doing that. And yeah, there is a contact person in all the institutions, and it is very clear. So yeah.
Yeah, in addition to the answer of Naomi Shalom, actually, the Embassy of Israel in Korea is issuing the student's visa currently. Actually, it was stopped for a while, and then because of the coronavirus outbreak. But now, Embassy is issuing the student visa again. And then, if you have any issue about student visa, please contact us, and then ask us about your visa, and definitely we will help you. And Shalom, and there is a few questions in the Q&A board. Could you check it and answer it?
Yes. I only see not in English.
There's English question, or maybe I can read it on behalf of the
yes. Okay.
audience.
Yeah.
When it comes to when it comes to startups or finance, which university is better, Hebrew University or Tel Aviv University? Second, Israel. Israel
I'm sorry, I'm not allowed to answer that.
yeah, and second, Israel cast itself as a startup nation. What about finance? Does Israel have strong finance? Does the Israeli university have strong finance invest program?
Yeah, so there are definitely finance programs. There are quite a few MBA programs in English, and they are very, very good and very excellent academic ones. And definitely that is something that you can study in Israel, and Israeli universities are very, very good at. Yes. And the information about that you can also find on our website about these programs as well.
Yes, thank you. And Mr. Ho Jae-young raised the hand, and I will allow him to speak out for the question. 네, 지금 말씀하시면 됩니다. 아마 지금 뮤트가 걸려 있는 것 같아요, 선생님. You're on mute now.
Yes.
Yes, we can hear you.
I have a question about what documents do the universities of Israel require, like TOEFL, IBT, or self-introduction paper, etc. For example, I have a IELTS, not the TOEFL, IBT.
Yes. So actually all the information about that can be found on our website. While I'm speaking with you, I can actually open this website. I can tell you that the Israeli universities do require proof of English level, academic recommendation letters sometimes, but not all the time. Academic transcripts and diplomas, statement of purpose, GRE or GMAT scores, and medical certificate. But that all depends on what you choose to study, and it varies from institution to institution. Regarding the, if you're asking regarding the visas, then I'm pretty sure that the embassy can answer that as well. But generally, to say this is, you need to show a letter of acceptance from the education institution where you are going to study, a proof of financial means and travel documents and so on. But all that information can be found again on studyisrael.org.il. There are certain changes regarding since with the coronavirus, the pandemic. And might require additional documents, but that is all specified on our website, and I'm sure that the embassy is there for you as well with answers on what specifically maybe USC requires.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you for your question and answer. And then another question is on the Q&A board. How much doctoral course cost per year? You presented it is based on the scholarship. Could you answer it?
Yeah, right. So the doctor, I'd say that almost all doctorate programs in Israel are government. Sorry, are not our institution. They have an institution scholarship. So if it's not a scholarship so yeah, that is most scholarships. I'm not familiar with other programs. If it does require some kind of tuition, it would be very little.
Yeah, I want to add one more things. Actually, Minister of Foreign Affairs is providing some kind of scholarship for the Korean students who wants to study in Israel. And then it is usually published in November, and then it will be the due date of the application is usually by the end of this year. And then we will gonna have an interview, and then we will get you can get the result by the next year around June actually. but it is actually it is not confirmed yet. Actually, every year, if there's a budget, we can do this kind of scholarship program. But if there's no like enough budget, we cannot make it. And then please check our website and then our Facebook page regularly, and then see our announcement about the scholarship. Actually, we have two types of scholarship. One type is for the degree program, actually upper level of the master degree or doctorate degree or postdoctorate or research. We can provide some kind of scholarship for this kind of upper level degree program. And also we have another scholarship for the Ulpan courses. Actually, this especially for the summer Ulpan course in Haifa University for the Arabic and Hebrew language. It is very intensive program for 3 weeks, including many social activities. Actually, you can have a very good chance. Actually, please visit our social media channels frequently, and then our website, and then you can find good news from there, our website. I have another hands from Mr. or Miss Ki-Song-do. I allowed him to speak out. 네, 말씀하시면 됩니다.
Yes, hello. I just heard about Ulfan, the Ulfan course. Is it better to graduate the Ulfan course and then go to college, or is it better to directly go to college?
So
I don't know which
the
way.
Ulpan-
Yeah, I want to know like which course is a little more helpful, because I don't really know a lot about Hebrew, the language. So I heard that the Ulfan it teaches Hebrew and all the base. So I just wanted to ask you, is it better to go to Ulfan and then go
Yeah.
to college, or just directly go to college?
Yes. So I guess it depends on if you're going to study in Hebrew or in English. If you are going to study in Hebrew, there is a reason to go to Ulpan, which is language learning only. In Ulpan, you will only learn Hebrew. But if you are going to study in English, and you are only concerned about the everyday life in Israel, then I'm not so sure that Ulpan is necessary, since most you can kind of get by in Israel with English if if it has to do with your everyday life. Most of the people in Israel do speak a decent level of English, and so if you are looking to study in Ulpan in order for your academic studies in Hebrew, then that could be relevant and is something that is recommended. But if it's only for your everyday life as a student that studies in English, then I think you should think twice about that.
Okay, thank you for your answer.
You're welcome.
Okay, thank you. And then I found one more question from Ms. or Mr. Jo Hye-jin. I will allow her to speak out. Could you raise a question, Ms. Jo Hye-jin?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, but could you speak a little bit loudly?
Okay. Naomi, thanks for your presentation. And it was really helpful to know what I prepare. And what I want to know is the Innovation Center. You mentioned that first part. First of all, I just wonder the way to experience to the Innovation Center. Is it possible to participate as individual, or is it go with group? And secondly, is it possible to participate that Innovation Center as undergraduate student? Although am I majoring in humanity? Yeah, that's it. Thank you.
Okay. So that's a great question. So the innovation centers offer courses. I think it also offers courses that you can choose to go to, and it also has to do with group sessions as well. So the answer for that would be both. And yeah, it is supposed to be open to students from different fields as well. So if you are in humanities, you can choose to join. I can say that the innovation centers are a new initiative. So it will, I believe, from what we know, that in the next year will hopefully grow, and it can also go more online and virtually in this the situation of the pandemic. But the idea is for all students and researchers in the university to gain entrepreneurial skills and innovation skills. So that is the idea behind the center. So it is supposed to be accessible to all.
Oh, thank you.
I would just like to say that there are different innovation centers. I would recommend that, I don't know where you are thinking to study, but you should reach out to the university or to the different college that you choose to study and learn more. And I think all the international offices are very accessible to international students and very much want to answer your questions. So that would definitely be a good question to ask them, since there are different centers and each one has a different plan.
Yeah, thank you. And then Mr. Ho Jae-young, the raised the question once again. Then let me allow him to speak out.
Yes. How do foreigners live on Sabbath? I have heard that stores and restaurants are out of business or can't use electricity, like something like that. So that's my question. Yes.
Have you asked if restaurants are open right now? Is that the question? Or
it's like how do foreigners live on Sabbath? Like some kind of stores or restaurants are closed in Sabbath, closed on Sabbath. So how many foreigners like buy something or eat something?
Yeah, well, that's a good question. It does depend where you study. So if you live, for example, in Haifa, which is very mixed city in terms of its population, then you will probably find, and in Tel Aviv, you'll probably find, I guess, more places that are open on Shabbat and the Sabbath. In other places, it might be a little more of an issue. But I think that from what I heard, different international students, I mean, I spoke to international students in Jerusalem and in Rehovot and in other places as well. And they all said that is not something that they would regret choosing to study in Israel because of the Sabbath. That was something that we were very concerned about when we started this initiative of attracting more international students. But the students that come here do enjoy their experience and they do feel that it's worth it. And the institutions do make an effort to make sure that the international students are taken care of also on Shabbat and are very well aware of the situation. But yes, in some cities, there are less stores open on Saturdays. And that is something to be aware of.
Thanks.
Thank you. And then, is there any other questions? I think we can get one more last questions before we let Naomi go. And then, if you have any question, this is the right time to raise a question. Yeah, I think that's all. And Naomi Shalom, if you have any last comment for the Korean potential students.
Yes. So thank you for joining us for this session. I'm very happy to see that there is interest in studying in Israel. I do highly recommend to visit our website and to participate in the next sessions that the embassy is organizing for the next few days. I personally know the speakers, and they are all fantastic and very much informative. So I hope, you will all choose to come and study in Israel.
Thank you for your participation, and then I really appreciate for your time and all your good presentation and then your answers. It must be the very good opportunities for me and also for the potential students as well. And then I will invite you once again in another good chance, and then hope to see you again. And also thank you for every audience for today. And then if you have any question, please feel free to contact me by email or to Shalom directly, and then we will gladly to answer you. And then have a good evening. And then bye-bye. Thank you.
Goodbye. Thank you, everyone.
Goodbye. Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye.